It's Craig Hemingway, Communications Manager for the City of Moose Jaw, and welcome to the Notorious Jawcast video edition from the City of Moose Jaw. And we are very happy to make some updates to reopening of some city facilities in line with Phase 3 of the provincial government's Reopen Saskatchewan Plan. And to talk about that is our Director of Parks and Recreation, Derek Blais. Derek, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Craig.
Your life here at work certainly has been consumed since the pandemic hit with facilities. Parks and Rec looks after our facilities in the city of Moose Jaw, all of them, recreation and otherwise, including City Hall and others. I guess maybe even generally just discuss kind of what that process has been like, and it has to have been a constant stream of contact with government officials and just reviewing what is and isn't allowable.
Yeah, I know there's definitely been a lot of learning throughout this, and really staying in touch with public health officials and really seeing the information that's out there and how it can be applied to our situation and how we can safely move forward here in this new normal. So it's definitely been a lot of challenges. Every day presents a new one, it seems like, but we've been getting through it. We have got a great team here, and we're confident that we'll be able to develop a plan to reopen our facilities. I think what we've seen through all this is really the importance of the facilities and the services that we offer. Is people are really missing the parks and the pools and the rinks and the field house and all the opportunities that come with that. So yeah, it's been different, but we're working through it. And
it was March 17th when we closed all the city facilities, Recreation, City Hall, all of them, in fact. And now, as we've learned through this whole process, the government introduced their Reopen Saskatchewan Plan. Phase 3, which begins June 8th, allows for the reopening of some facilities, and a couple of them outdoor facilities here in the city of Moose Jaw. So I guess give us that update and the good news.
Yeah, no, we'll. Yeah, so as of Monday, as of June 8th, we'll be able to open up the BMX skate park and the skateboard park, as well as the basketball courts, but still adhering to the measures that are in place by the provincial government. So that includes the physical distancing of 2 meters. We also ask that people avoid touching any public surfaces, so benches, railings, netting, those kinds of things. And also staying away from these facilities if you are sick or showing any type of symptoms. And we will have signage placed with these reminders at these facilities, but it is exciting that we are able to start resuming some of these activities for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Also important to note that playground equipment is still off limits. That is not covered by Phase 3, is that right?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, playground equipment, our spray parks, will all remain closed until Phase 4. So we'll look to have some further announcements on that.
Some confusion also is out there, I think, around the city sports fields, ball diamonds and, ball season. I know the leagues are hoping that they can have a season, and it has been announced that, that activity, sporting activity with teams can't happen until Phase 4. And so that means our sports fields are closed until Phase 4 as well?
Yeah, so the outdoor sports fields are closed for for group fitness activities. So anything that's organized, so your minor sports and different things like that. But they can be accessed for any individual things. So if someone's doing some training or just would like to access a field for fitness or what have you, it's still available for that. Again, as long as proper guidelines are adhered to in regarding to physical distancing and such.
Yeah, so you can show up with a family member and throw a ball around or something, but not grabbing a group of your teammates and going out for an informal game or anything, right?
That's exactly it, yeah.
Okay, good to make that designation. And so we already know, unfortunately, we had to announce that the Phyllis Dewar Outdoor Pool is closed for the summer. Again, just so much vagueness, right, just around when Phase 4 would start and what that would even mean, and the economics of it all played a role there, right?
Yeah, that was a tough one for us. It's we know how the people of this community really enjoy going to the outdoor pool throughout the summer, and but when looking at it at the time and looking at the financial constraints that come with the pool, and also just the strict measures that are in place regarding the number of people that could be that could attend. The social distancing, it just when we put it all together, it just didn't make sense to open it up for this year with all the uncertainty. That being said, if ever there is an opportunity presented to us at some point this summer, we will have the indoor pool available. So I guess we won't be completely out of aquatics. There will be that opportunity. We bumped up the shutdown, so the shutdown period there is typically in June, where we conduct all our annual maintenance. We were able to get that completed in April, so we will be able to open the pool whenever it's feasible to do so.
Yeah, and that was one of the first things really that became apparent when the facilities had to close, was just that whole realignment of those schedules. And kudos to you and your crew for getting ahead of that and knowing, well, okay, this is the time then to do these things, knowing that if and when we're allowed to reopen, we should be ready as opposed to having to wait again, right?
You bet. Yeah.
I know, Derek, that you and your staff are doing a review of every facility in making these decisions. And there are a few, I guess, broad things you're looking at for every decision, correct?
Yeah, no, for sure. We're putting together some fairly detailed plans on how and what each facility is going to look like when we reopen. Within that review is obviously the compliance with the provincial guidelines and regulations that come forward with each phase. There's a lot of safety measures that have to be adhered to within those guidelines to keep people safe. There's also some additional cleaning and sanitization that is required. So how can we accommodate that within our operation? What do we need? And then also some just design elements, having proper barriers in place and proper signage in place and entrances and exits, and ensuring that everything complies with what the provincial government is looking for to keep people safe. And the final thing is the cost. With these measures, what's the additional cost to that? But also, there's a cost in a potential loss of revenue. Are people 100% confident with coming back, and our facility is going to get back to the levels of attendance that they were before, or will we suffer some sort of of revenue loss there? So all these factors get kind of combined into one and put into the ultimate the final decision of when we're going to be able to reopen. So.
Right, and certainly our council has to weigh those too. You present all that information to them, and they've had to deal and make a lot of decisions to this point already about various things and economic measures and reducing the property tax rate and then making tough decisions like, again, the outdoor pool and all those things. So these are all the factors that everybody has to take into account.
Yeah, no, definitely. If there is going to be extra costs, we definitely have to look at what the benefits are to absorbing that extra cost and take that to City Council and have them weigh in and ultimately approve if the opening or whatever we're taking to them. So yeah, there is a lot of different things, a lot of different considerations, and.
Yara Centre, of course, has the fitness facility inside of it, and in phase 3 of the province's plan, fitness facilities are allowed to reopen. Now, Yara Centre isn't, but of course that's based on some of the things you just mentioned in terms of our review, and it's a tough call, but one we just can't quite make right now, right?
Yeah. We did have a real good look at that as soon as the announcement came out. We continue to review it. What we can say right now is that it won't be opening on June 8th as part of phase 3, but there's still a possibility that at some point throughout phase 3 that if the review comes out favorably, that we would reopen. But again, there's a lot of different factors that we're looking at, and one of them right now is this is for our fitness center, this is our downtime. This is our slowest part of the year. So the revenue is just not there this time of the year. People are outside enjoying the outdoors, and so in looking at that, I think some of the steps that we're taking, we are consulting with our members. We have a survey that went out yesterday, and we're going to continue that consultation and see how many people are comfortable with returning. And like I mentioned before, we'll put all that information together and come up with a final decision.
Right. And as we mentioned, with the phase 3 reopening, private fitness facilities are able to reopen Monday, and many will be as far as that goes. And finally, for facilities, City Hall has been closed since March 17th. A similar approach to looking at how and when we will reopen City Hall to the public.
Yes, very similar approach. Again, a lot of different logistics and things to go through in regards to how are we going to keep our staff safe, how we're going to keep the public safe. City Hall, a lot of essential staff working within City Hall. So if ever there were some sort of contamination or things like that, it would really hurt the city and the community. So City Hall, we have to have those extra layers of protection, and yeah, we're looking at it, and we'll have a plan proposed to City Council shortly.
We're with Derek Blais, the Director of Parks and Recreation for the City of Moose Jaw. I guess we'll close with, June is Parks and Recreation Month, and we'd love to be talking about everything being open for people to use, but although not everything is, certainly some are. We mentioned again the skate parks and bike parks opening up on June 8th and the basketball courts around the city to use. And through this whole thing, city parks and trails, they are open for enjoyment.
Yeah, no, definitely. And we encourage people to get out and enjoy our parks, our open spaces, and our trail system. I know my family, we've gone out a lot more than we have in the past, and it's been great. And seeing the people out in the trail system, I think everyone's respectful of the guidelines that are in place. But people, it's an opportunity to go out there and put a smile on your face, enjoy the fresh air. We've been getting some good weather. So yeah, encourage people to do that.
Well, we wish we had all the answers right now, but nobody does. We're learning as we go, like everyone else is, and so we appreciate the work of you and your Parks and Recreation crew in the City of Moose Jaw, Derek. And we'll encourage anybody. Full information on the facilities update can be found at moosejaw.ca/coronavirus. All of our COVID-19 city information can be found there. Anything else to add, Derek?
No, I think that's it. Well, yeah, we're just going to continue to work through this, and there is light at the end of the tunnel, and we're going to come out stronger at the end. So thanks for having me.